Hello everyone. Today we have a truly evil build. You guys know that I love oppressive, just feel bad to play against decks. I don't know why. I have a positive personality, but I just love the evil decks. And so today we are running a very evil one. But before we jump into the deck explanation, we are live right now on twitch.tv/TLSG Snap. If you've been wondering where have all the videos been, I've been streaming a whole lot of hours over on Twitch, and I haven't really felt compelled to make videos on new card releases because within the first couple of days, it doesn't really give a good glimpse of how that card is going to perform. I would rather focus my attention on brewing that on stream on the day that's released, and then really focusing on finding those good decks that I feel very comfortable recommending to you guys that are going to perform incredibly well. And today's is going to be one of those. But if you like live form content, if you haven't got your Twitch drops yet, there is a premium mystery variant that you can get for free just by watching 6 hours of Marvel Snap streams on Twitch. So twitch.tv/TLSG Snap. I would love to have you over there. But as far as the deck build goes, today we are running a very heavy disruption style build. We have the rock stuff, we have the Black Widow stuff so that they can't draw cards. We have the big finishers of the Hawk or Iron Man and Mystique. I felt like the deck or the bully deck that runs the Grandmaster, runs the Black Widow, runs the Rock Slide Absorb Man, always felt like it lacked a high-end finisher, like it lacked the power output to really compete. Yes, you could disrupt them, but a lot of times if they had decent stats already in hand, then you couldn't really hold your own. However, I think Agent Venom changes that. Agent Venom bumps up your Mystique by 4, your Cassandra Nova by 4, Iron Man by 4. It can really start snowballing and elevating some of those lower power finishing plays that you're going to have to lean into if you can drop it early enough on turn 2 or turn 3. If not, we do have a lot of disruption and some pretty good power output in our Hawk, our Mystique, Cassandra Nova, and then the backup line of the Iron Man. Overall, I had a blast with this deck. It can be kind of difficult to get big, like 8 cube games out of it, and that's just going to be the nature of like oppressive decks that really look to put the game into a solved state almost, because the opponent is going to know very well if they've won or lost. And so a lot of times you're going to get 2 cubes, maybe 4 cubes if you're lucky and the opponent snapped early, but most of the time you're going to end up forcing retreats with the opponent drawing into rocks. Even 1 to 2 rocks can be just so detrimental. We're going to keep the deck explanation short and jump over into some gameplay. Thank you guys as always for being here. I hope you guys enjoy. Wait.
I am.
So they do have an Iron Man. They have the web shop exclusive Iron Man, which gets very scary very fast. They're gonna get an additional 8 here. So it'll be 4, 8, so it goes to 42. This goes to 40. We go to 44. So we would have to hope that they move their vulture. This is going to be 16. It's going to be 14 extra power in this left lane. And so I think it's really hard for them to resist moving that vulture into negative zone. But maybe. So the Aranya and then Iron Lad. Ooh, what is Iron Lad going to hit here? The big rock. So we are going to copy the Hawk in the left lane. Huge potential value for us, and then Cassandra Nova being that additional last turn big resource, which should keep us over that 44 limit. We'll take the left, we'll take the right, we'll take the 4 cubes against the Sorcerer Supreme himself. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Callus. The first location is the throne room. We're gonna go ahead and do our Korg over to the left, just to get a little bit of extra supporting stuff. Odds are we would want to lean into a last turn like Hawk or Mystique to be able to potentially steal that one away so that we have the double power in that location. But I do like to play Korg either left or right in case we ever get a Grandmaster. Now, we don't have a turn 2 here. Haven't seen our Agent Venom since we loaded up today, but whenever you do get him, he can really help elevate your Iron Man, your Mystique, your Cassandra, and your other smaller cards to a good degree as well. Okay, let's go Rock Slide right. We do have the follow-up of the Absorbing Man, which can be really good value. The Sebastian Shaw in the left lane, very, very unfortunate. What we're going to have to hope for is that we add enough disruption into their hand that they draw garbage, just pure garbage. We could go Nico into like Silver Sable to change the left lane. I think we're just going to do like Absorbing Man mid. The right lane becomes a little bit tough for them to really fight for. I think we should be okay. The right lane is really tough for them to get big power because they can't get a brood. So I think Big Hawk here, Mystique to the right, could be enough. I do wish that second rock slide went down. It's fine. It's fine. We're not bitter about it. We're just a little salty. Cassandra in their Surfer build is crazy. It is only 4 power, so thankfully it's only 4 power. Nothing that can bump up their deck. Let's go Mystique to the right. That's going to be 12 power. Into something like this. Actually, we never win left, so I'm actually going to pad mid a little bit. I think the difference maker is easily going to be the right lane, and if they can get enough power over there. So if they're doing Surfer, they're going to have to, I mean, they could do Killmonger, which would be 3, that's only 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, would not beat the copied. Okay, but the Juggernaut would. So Juggernaut, Killmonger, that should pop Sebastian Shaw up enough, I think, that he gets the double power. So that's 11 power. Ooh, wait, we're 12 power. We grab the double power away. It brings us up to 22. Brings them down a bit. We may win the left lane off of that. Nasty, nasty Mystique. And it would have been even cleaner of a win had we gotten the second Rock Slide or the Absorbing Man to go off. We will take the 2 cubes. Not a comfortable win, but a win that we will gladly take. Let's jump over into the next one. Next up, we have Straws 999. First location, Central Park. A little unfortunate, but we have our Korg to start off with. Love to see Korg early. Silver Sable is also a pretty good one to see early, or late, either way. Then we get a copy, so we could always kind of think we go Nico into Cassandra Nova copy. Because we're going to do so much like negative affliction their way that I think it's going to be just awful for them. So next up we go probably Cassandra right into being able to do probably Grandmaster onto the Cassandra at some point. To move it mid, we have the copied version to also drop somewhere as well. Be pretty devastating. Now, the first card that they play is Storm. This could be Storm War Machine Legion, and if so, you can't really do much against them. Sentinel, not what we wanted to see by any means. Because now a Grandmaster and the Iceman hit the 1 out of 5 to just make sure that we can't do any kind of ongoings. Now the Grandmaster isn't guaranteed to hit Cassandra Nova, which we don't like to see. Let's go Cassandra, Silver Sable. Turn 5, we're going to have to be kind of hopeful. We should have flipped the Sable and the Cassandra, just in case we draw Absorbing Man. That's my bad. But drawing the Hawk is much better here. I would snap. But I feel like Straws would retreat. We should have snapped earlier when we saw the double Cassandra come down. Or the line of the double Cassandra. Because it's just so negative affliction their way. So just know we should snap into this one. I'm not going to because I think they would retreat anyways. So we'll play it by ear. To the Vision, they can move 7 power over into the flooded lane. But if they do that and soak with the Sunspot, it's not going to be great for them. But what would be great is Mystique into a Rock Slide as our finisher. Bumping up both Hawks, bumping up the cards in their deck. So we're just impacting both left, right heavily, and then mid, we already have a lot of power. So we do end up getting the retreat. Again, we should have snapped. Looking back on this, we should have snapped whenever we probably saw the Cassandra Nova Nico copy, knowing that we would have a lot of power presence and a lot of a negative affliction coming down their way. We'll take the one. Let's jump over into the next one. Next up, we have Losing Enjoyer. The first location, Castle Blackstone. We will gladly throw a Silver Sable over there. A lot of times that is enough to grab that early priority. Now, looking at their deck, they're not an Agatha Enjoyer. Whenever I see Black Knight on one, that always, right now, is probably the more common line. And so I always check to make sure. Since we have extra energy, we could do Cassandra Nova here and kind of solidify that lead. But I think it's too difficult to pass up a potential Agent Venom. So we're going to go Agent Venom mid. We could have also done it to the left, I suppose. That would have held down the Castle Blackstone. Oh well. Let's go Cassandra left. It's only going to be 6 now instead of the 7, but like our Nico, for example, with the double up spell, becomes 8 power for just that one cost, and then a follow-up card. And our Ironman, Mystique, all of those get benefited a lot from that early Venom. So speaking of the double up spell, we'll gladly take it here. What are they running? The Black Knight Ari. Is it maybe a Sandman deck? We could get, this one would be more than 8 power if we did Absorbing Man to copy the Cassandra Nova. And we add some Affliction their way. So I think we do this. We go ahead and do this. Next turn, maybe it's Hawk. Maybe it's Grandmaster left. Just kind of depends. Ooh, wait. Why did they Acid Arrow the right lane? They should have kind of changed up that order a bit and did Grapple into Acid Arrow. Huh. Take it. So we could even, we could even try a Grandmaster. If it hits Nico here, it'll be 8 power, and then it goes up to 16, which is kind of nutty. We could also kind of pad this left lane. Wait, why didn't we snap earlier? We should have snapped when we had the turn to Agent Venom. That's probably one of my weaker areas is the snap lines on a deck that I haven't ran a lot of. Is like paying attention and making sure that I'm snapping as soon as I see that advantage versus later whenever it forces those early retreats. We'll take the one. Let's jump over into the next. All right, next up we have KM Best. We are going to give it our best shot. We have Nico into card copy, but I would rather start with our Korg, add that disruption into their draw as early as humanly possible. Next up, we'll probably play and stage like a Sable here. Nico into the card copy is not, or Nico into the double up spell is not bad here. So let's Nico left. I'm going to Silver Sable mid. There's a chance that, or a play line that we potentially want to go Grandmaster into the left lane. And if it hits the Nico, then we could double it up again to 8 power, which would be pretty nice. We have the Black Widow to disrupt their draw going into 3. And then on 4, we have the Absorbing Man to do it once again, which is one of my favorite lines. We can also hit that with a Grandmaster so they can't draw for the last several turns. Ooh, they lose their Toxin. We lose our Black Widow. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Let's go Rock Slide mid. Next will probably be Absorbing Man right. We know that they've lost one of their pickup mechanisms. And then we do have Grandmaster. So we can always position a little bit more power into mid, either with the Rock Slide or with like a Korg or Nico. On turn number 6, because turn 5, Actually, depending on what we draw, I guess, will determine how we play this one. If it's an Ironman, oof, and that is some rough stuff. God. Let's go with this. We're hoping for the best. We're hoping that we've disrupted their draw enough that they just can't do much here. 2, 4, 5. Total will have shuffled 7 rocks into their deck. And I'm sad that we lost the Widow, but they have 2 cards left in hand. They could have a Beast in the left, which we would have to look out for the Vulture move. Doctor Strange pulls both Vulture and Agent Venom, so that's big. And actually, oh no. Okay, yeah, they win that one by a lot. So we're just hoping that the rest of their hand is garbage. That's about all that we can do. Had we had Hawk a turn earlier, easy snap. Had he ordered that better, had he played Rock and then Dagger, he could have yanked the Dagger and been able to potentially steal the Sokovia lane. We'll take the 2. The disruption that it provided, I think, was too much for him to really get much going. And then also Sokovia making him lose Toxin was a big turning point, I think, as well. We'll take the 2. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Chompy, the Onslaught Citadel. Beautiful for Ironman, beautiful for Hawk, beautiful for so many cards here. Now, Agony, I have to expect that they're running the Deadpool stuff. So I'm just hoping that we can get some early disruption their way. At least enough early disruption that it's hard for them to draw into those cards. So like a Black Widow, a Rock Slide. Those big pieces that we need. So they did draw into a Wolverine, which was 0 power and goes up to 2. Interesting that they did go ahead and choose to merge the 2. I think with Deep Space, super unfortunate location for them. I'm going to go Black Widow into, depending on what we draw, into like Korg Grandmaster. If we draw Absorbing Man, we're going to do that instead. Stopping a Destroy deck from drawing into the stuff that they need can be so devastating. Now, they go ahead and merge the Hulkbuster onto the Wolverine as well. And I think we're okay with that. Go Korg, Grandmaster. We're hoping for the 50-50 Grandmaster to hit Black Widow. But if it hits Silver Sable, that's not awful. Beautiful Black Widow pull. They're going to destroy the first Widow's Bite, but they get a second one. And so, especially for Destroy and a very combo-heavy deck that needs most of their pieces, missing out on even just one can be devastating. So let's go Hawk. Hawk to the left. If it's a flavor of Destroy, depending on their collection level, if it's lower, it could run Shang-Chi. And if so, we could be potentially in trouble. Now, if they have a Venom here, be a beautiful line. No, Killmonger, okay. So we're not really going to put much into Deep Space, but like a follow-up of, I think we do Mystique to the right. Just in case they Shang-Chi here, we at least have the big power with the Mystique. And I think we can overpower that way. So this is going to be 10. So I'm actually going to do both of these into mid. If they do Null, that's the only thing that they can really do. If they do Shang-Chi, I guess they could play a card into Deep Space and win off of like a low power output. So there's a chance that they could win. But without being able to draw multiple times, they only have 2 resources. They would need a very particular 2. We'll grab the 2. Let's jump over into the next one. Next up, we have Joe. Joe Mama. The first location is Mojo World. Let's go Silver Sable. Could potentially put us at risk of falling to like a Killmonger. Unless we hit it later with a Grandmaster. But what we're I guess we could also just curve into the Grandmaster now. I like to save it for later. Want to play onto like a Cassandra, to play onto like a Rock Slide, onto a Black Widow. But I would almost in this instance prefer to curve out how we would want to, or curve out well. So Goose, most of the time I see Goose in only like the War Machine style decks, like War Machine big body deck, which is a little bit on the scary side. Let's go Cassandra Nova. Next up, we'll do a follow-up of probably Absorbing Man. And so we're not getting much disruption, but we're getting a lot of affliction onto their cards. And so even though their cards aren't going to be Rocks or Black Widows, so like the Widow's Kiss, at least their cards are going to be less impactful. It is the War Machine stuff. So Storm, War Machine, Legion are all very real possibilities in this matchup or this deck. We should have done Cassandra Nova into Fogwell's Gym. Silly. Silly, silly, silly. I guess we go Absorbing Man to the right. That's going to be a 9 power. They do get War Machine, so they can play wherever they want. Right now, I'm thinking they don't have enough juice to fill up Mojo World entirely. And us, on the other hand, probably do. Let's go Hawk to the right. Ideal draw would be Mystique as a follow-up into our 2/1 drops here. That is the perfect top deck we could ask for. Does it happen? I don't know. Legion into Fogwell's Gym is pretty big. You love a good team player. So now this shifted a little bit. We no longer need to fulfill the left lane. This is only going to be 6. It's going to be 8 with the Korg. So with their War Machine, this is 6. It goes to 11. Do we ever do this? They would have to flip all 3 locations. 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I actually think this is too much in this lane. So instead, we do something like, I don't know, this to beat a Crossbones. Ah, I forgot Jeff could move. Oh, no. Well, I hope that we didn't need Korg mid. It's going to be very, very close.
I found a rock.
Oh, no. It forces a tie. We do win the tiebreaker because we win by 14. They only win by 7. But the small act of moving that Korg almost derailed us. I forgot about Jeff. I'm going to be real honest. I forgot about Jeff. Had it not been for the Silver Sable sniping him out, they would have been able to win that one. We'll take the 2. Sorry, Joe.